In an instant, Cleveland Stadium just turns into this like Looney Tunes dirt cloud. Remember, like just been like
legs and arms,
and it's just getting
out.
bigger and bigger. All the while, allegedly, Cleveland Indians organist Art Bros is playing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" on the organ.
Welcome to 500 Open Tabs. I'm Hannah Hillam.
And I'm Kaveh Taherian, and welcome to my living room.
Or kitchen, if you're me.
Both. We decided to do something different this time because I hate everything.
We switched spots. I'm a little calmer today. And this guy's...
I'm a little bit chaotic. So we decided to do... so Hannah's in town in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
So we decided, you live here now. No, so we decided to record an episode in person. And Hannah was like, wouldn't it be fun if we were in the same room recording? And I was like, no, I want to have a panic attack because I know that there's 10,000 things I need to do.
I need to clear the air, though, because I did say, or not.
I'm not going to say or not. You know that's going to send me down a spiral of panic of just be like, or not. I can't disappoint people.
In a different room. And then you were like, wait a second. I saw the gears start to turn.
And I'm like, oh no. This part of me has been dormant for so long. It's being awoken.
I have never seen this part of you. And weirdly enough, I feel at home. I see myself in you.
Listen, anytime you introduce two cameras in the same space with recording equipment for audio and lights. And eye lines and trying to edit all this so that it doesn't sound bad. It's a lot of work. And then I get stressed out. Not to mention, nothing of yours was charged. Yeah.
Who, me?
So this is not going to be a normal thing. This is a one-off. It feels weird talking to you directly instead of into the camera.
I know.
So eye lines are going to be weird. I don't think people care. I care about eye lines because I'm crazy and I always obsess over eye lines. And I'm like, the eye lines are going to be strange.
100% don't think people care.
I hope, just like the rest of the podcast, they won't care about any of it.
No one listens to this.
This is going to take me a second to adjust.
That's fine.
But anyway, so that's what we're doing.
Yes.
And this is Sarah took pictures. I'm like, please do not post this online because this is awful looking, like the setup.
It's a setup you see someone when they're like, look at our first podcast recording. And then it's like a horrible, like stacks of boxes and cords everywhere. That doesn't look like this, but this looks really good. Yeah. So I'm in town. This is the fourth time I've seen you this month.
So many times. So many times.
I was on my way over here and I was like, why am I doing this to him?
It's okay. It's been a pleasure.
It's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun.
Yes.
I got to do a book signing. We met. You want to tell them who we met last night?
Listen, there was a celebrity sighting last night.
Sighting.
It was legit. It was Nico from Riverside. In person.
Riverside.
I almost started crying because I was so excited.
I left my signing table and I was like,
it's true, you did. You stopped the signing.
Riverside is here? You were like, I saw him already.
Yeah.
And I had to like scamper back to this table and sign more books. But
I was talking to Alyssa and then he was sitting next to Alyssa because they were in the row in front of me. And then he politely was just like, oh, hi, I'm Nico. And I was like, my God, why did you just listen to it? Why didn't you interject and just be like, excuse me, right. I'm Nico from Riverside.
I'm Nico from Riverside. Yeah.
Anyway.
I felt like my stomach dropped. Oh my gosh, I'm going to meet someone.
Celeb sighting.
Anyway.
It was very exciting.
Which is weird. We've really made him into a character against his will.
He's probably listening to this being like, dear Lord, why are you people obsessed with me?
It's all parasocial.
Yes. But it's like reverse parasocial.
Which is...
I don't know if that makes sense.
But then we also met Kiki too.
That's right. Anyway, it was great. Your event was fun. Met. Shout out to Kiki. Thank you for everybody who... anybody else who maybe came to the signing yesterday and maybe is not on the Discord. But
everyone should be on the Discord. It's weird staring right at you.
Yeah, this is deeply uncomfortable, but we're going to make it through.
We are.
Anyway, that's the opening.
Ta-da! We did great. And if this sounds bad, who cares?
Our listeners only, our tens of listeners.
Anyway, should we get going?
Yes, let's get going. Did you go first last week? I think you did.
I did.
Right?
I think you go first this week.
Okay, so that means I'm up first, so I get to awkwardly stumble through this.
I can go first.
No, I'm going to do it. I'm already weird about everything.
Use it. What do you have?
Okay.
Tab do you have?
So.
This is cool. It's in person. I'm excited.
Good job. So I...
Good job.
I don't know why I said that.
Good.
It's weird. So I'm Hannah today on the podcast and I don't know how to handle it. So, So I've had baseball on the mind recently since the Dodgers are, at the time of this recording, most likely on their way, but not yet officially won the World Series.
Okay. They've won 3 out of 7?
3 out of 4 games. Hope again, 4. They've won the first 3. They lost 1.
Oh, yeah.
Which was during your event, which I'm not going to say that there's a direct correlation between you having book events and Dodgers losing, but you may very well be responsible for it. But I was also okay with it because I was like, if they swept it in 4, it wouldn't have been as fun. You kind of need a little
you got to have like the draw it out a little bit.
Yeah, exactly. So they're not yet won. I can't say on the record that they officially will win, but all signs are pointing to yes.
Yes, cool.
And all I keep thinking is how badly like I want to be in the stadium.
Okay.
And to see the game and to be there and the roar of the crowds and the tension.
I didn't know you love baseball this much.
I mean, it's more just like, it's the World Series.
It's the energy too.
I don't love, it's not like I'm that obsessed with baseball, but it's like, it's one of the few times that like, because I live in LA, it's like you have LA pride and you're excited and everyone in the city is like united around one thing.
I feel that with I feel that with baseball too, and the food I get to eat and the yelling. Yeah, it's all fun.
And also the fact that it's an LA New York setup is really like a big deal because New York shits on LA all the time, and LA shits on LA all the time.
And that's why LA's better.
Yeah, I don't know. I wouldn't go that far, but I do like.
Never go that far. I was a joke. This is a funny podcast.
Yeah,
I make jokes here.
Jokey joke. Without having to. Extend my line or express my lines to one city or another, but I am now from LA because I've lived here for so long, so I feel an obligation to. Also, the Yankees, I'm like, I don't care. You're like, the Dodgers are now the team that has too much money and like like Ohtani and all that stuff. They got
Ohtani, yeah.
So I guess now I'm part of the problem of what everybody else will hate because being from Los Angeles.
This was when being from the Bay Area and the Golden State Warriors and Steph Curry, I was like, I'm obsessed with basketball now.
Yeah, it's how it
goes.
And
everyone's like, I liked them when they were bad. I'm like, I don't care.
I don't care. Yeah, it's fun to watch when the team wins a lot.
Yeah, it's like, oh, cool, I'm on board.
Yeah. So anyway, I really wanted to go to a game, but of course I can't afford that because I'm merely a mid podcaster with. Tens of cents from every ad play that goes. And also because, especially with the addition of Ohtani, like everything's gotten so expensive because he's such a big draw, because he's such an impressive, he's like a once in a generation player.
Right.
And the price of everything has gone through the roof, including everyone's favorite beverage at the games, beer.
Oh, I was like, what do people drink?
The blood of children?
No, I don't know. I was going to say...
beer, Hannah. Beer.
Okay, so beer is skyrocketing because of Ohtani?
I mean, not directly because of Ohtani. Beer has already gotten too expensive. But according to USA Today, the Dodger Stadium has the most expensive beer in the country at 99 cents per ounce for 16-ounce cans, which costs $15.99.
That's insane.
Beer at Dodger Stadium costs 30 cents more per ounce than any other team in the league.
Why?
Because it's LA and everything's a ripoff here and super expensive.
Okay. Wow, I don't like baseball anymore.
Yeah, right. Baseball canceled. It's absurd.
We're canceling all of baseball.
Yeah, we're canceling all of baseball.
Shut it all down.
Yeah. It's terrible. And I, for one, I long for the old days of baseball when things were dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And that's why the name of today's tab spoke directly to my heart. You ready for this?
Yeah.
On June 4th, 1974,
the
team formerly known as the Cleveland Indians, who are now the Cleveland Guardians, hosted the Texas Rangers and offered a promotion unthinkable by today's standards.
You trying to make me guess?
10-cent beer night.
Is this what I think it is?
Which, as you might expect, would go on to become one of the most infamous nights in baseball history.
I love this story. It's been years since I read it. I'm so excited.
Yes. Okay, so you were familiar with some of it.
I'm familiar with the gist of what happened that night.
Okay.
But I don't think I know the details.
The details are, most of it ends up happening before the actual game, which is what's interesting.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I just know that like everyone became insane.
It's true. They do. As you might expect from 10-cent beer night.
Yeah.
So,
I'm so excited.
Apologies to all you Michiganders who are listening, but I'm going to have to talk about Ohio for a little bit.
Ugh.
That's a little bit of inside baseball, being married to somebody from Michigan, where there's the Michigan-Ohio thing. And just,
apparently
some of Sarah's friends are just like, if you mention Ohio to them, they'll just leave the room. Just, I don't know.
We are a country made of 50 different little countries.
Oh, 100%.
And it's absurd. Unless you're from over here, and then you're just like, we're the boxy states, and no one cares.
I feel like Northern California and Southern California's rivalry used to be a lot worse.
I mean, I'm still annoyed. I'm like, don't ever say I'm from Southern California. If you say that, I will not.
Listen, I'm bistatal, whatever you want to call it.
You're bisexual for
bisexual.
You're
I swing both ways.
You swing. You do.
It's true. I swing
right now
both ways. I'm just going to make all these different baseball references.
Bisexual baseball boy.
Bisexual baseball boy, Kavitaharian, reporting for duty.
Aye, captains.
Anyway, so rivalry between Michigan and Ohio.
Okay.
Michigan has nothing to do with this, but I just thought I'd give
You
a
had
shout
to.
out
You got to put
Sarah's
it in there
people.
because.
So let's go back to the 1970s.
Okay.
Once a boom town for manufacturing, the trend of deindustrialization resulted in Cleveland losing about 60,000 manufacturing jobs.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, this is over the course of like the 50s up until the 70s.
Right.
So it's like 15, 16 years.
Oh.
This resulted in a loss of almost 24% of the city's population as it became the first major American city since the Great Depression to default on its loans.
Cleveland?
Cleveland was not doing great.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Wow.
Not fun. And don't forget, the decade kicks off with the infamous Kent State shootings.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Ooh. The 70s were absolutely insane.
Chaos.
Like, just crazy.
Chaos. And these shootings hung like an albatross around everyone's necks. Unemployment was high. And to add insult to injury, the Cuyahoga River was so polluted and neglected that it literally kept catching fire.
It's not funny. Ooh,
it's just comically like
it's
not great.
It's absurd. It's like a cartoon.
It's this
River's
whole,
on fire.
This whole thing is like a cartoon.
Okay.
Or just it's like it's so insane to be like you're in an area that's so polluted that the literal river catches fire.
Yeah,
just
it's
imagine.
So
that.
dirty and full of oil or whatever it is.
Yeah,
like pollutants.
And also all these companies just left. Like this is when jobs started getting shipped to like whatever Mexico and stuff. And
have you seen photos of this time?
I have seen some photos.
It's wild.
It's insane.
Just the entire country was like covered in garbage. First of all,
I mean most of the 70s were, and they basically say there's a lot of stuff that I was reading that said like New York and Cleveland were sort of similar in like the decline and sort of what it was like and the crime and like racial tension, like all that kind of stuff. They were like it was sort of like a little New York, like what we think of New York in the 70s and then into the 80s. They're saying Cleveland was a very similar thing.
Interesting. Okay.
Anyway, so the only way you can really make it through times like these is to find a sense of pride anywhere you can.
Right.
In order to not lose it. So in this case, baseball, and again, the Cleveland Indians became an important vessel of self-expression for all the residents of the area. Now, on May 29th, a week before 10 Cent Beer Night, the Indians and the Rangers had played another game in Arlington. This is the Texas Rangers, by the way.
Right. I love these names are just...
The Rangers,
bad.
Yes, listen, apologies. This is what it was.
It was, and it was just one of those things where it's like, right, that's right.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? For some reason, again, because the pandemic wiped everyone's brains.
I don't have any memories.
But the Indians, they didn't even change their name until like basically like 5 minutes ago. Like
what?
It was a result of like
the Indians until recently.
Yeah, basically up until like 3 years ago.
There was a school in our district that was the Indians, and they changed it to the Devils. And we were like, okay, it's way easier to make fun of you now.
Why not? Anyway, so May 29th, they're playing a game in Arlington, Texas.
Okay.
And tensions were very high because this is months before Richard Nixon was about to resign. He hadn't done it yet, so everyone was still stressed out. No, this has nothing to do with baseball.
I don't care.
But that was the case that was happening.
Nixon was doing at any point in this story.
On June 4th, I don't know what Nixon was doing, but
he was around.
He was around. He hadn't quite left office yet. And this game is happening. You know, they're going off. And in the 8th inning, Rangers second baseman Lenny Randle goes to bat.
Okay.
And the pitcher on mound is Milt Wilcox. And Milt throws a ball straight down the line, and it almost hits Lenny directly.
Oh.
And Lenny, he didn't like that shit.
Yeah, no.
He was like, that's a deliberate, he's trying to hit me.
Well, sensitive.
He's trying to attack me.
I mean, I get that. I relate to that deeply.
Don't forget, this is sports in the 70s too.
Okay,
so it's like,
so everything's personal. You can like murder someone.
Everything is like one step away from someone getting stabbed.
Sports, remember, is a replacement for war.
Exactly.
That is pretty much what it is.
So Lenny's annoyed. And then when he goes to, so then there's the next pitch. And in this masterful move, after Milt throws a pitch, Lenny does this bunt, which is like when you tap it in the middle and then it sort of goes on the ground. And he aims it directly like toward Milt, towards the pitcher. So it's like just a little bit right to the pitcher's mound.
Okay.
And so doing this, he knows that Milt's going to go and try and pick up the ball and tag him out. So as was his plan, he does this, and Lenny starts running full speed towards first base. Oh. And as Milt approaches to tag him, he just straight up clocks him with his shoulder, just plows him down like a football player.
The 70s.
Yeah.
It's all the lead.
Yeah, exactly.
It's all the lead. Like the boomers were just like pumped with lead.
Yeah.
Like, let's eat this lead paint and breathe literal lead in the air.
Yep.
That's why we have unleaded gas, because we were all going literally insane.
Breathing too much gasoline in. Just clocks him.
Hit him.
Just clocks him. And so he's basically like,
Beautiful.
oh, you tried to hit me, bitch. I'm coming back 10 times stronger. And naturally,
not necessarily.
yeah,
But
and then of course everybody was like, "What?" And so Milt's Ranger Bros come to his defense, and everyone piles on, and there's a giant fight.
There's a fight.
There's a fight. Yeah.
Are there videos of this?
There are videos of this. Yes.
I need to see this.
People are punching and kicking. Let's see. I can probably pull it up.
Oh, because we're in person. You can just like show.
I can just show it to you, but then you'd have to move around, and then
around.
things are weird.
I don't think we should move around.
Why don't I pull up the clip for you?
Okay. Here
so
we go.
Describe it as it's happening.
All right. Okay. Wait, that he did throw that right at him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's
so
so mad.
Oh,
just
goes,
there's
boom.
Oh. No, but they're all piling
Look, they're all just coming in.
like one after the other.
Yeah, it's like a Simpsons gag is literally
really
what it is.
That was insane. There's a huge fight. They're all like, okay, the refs are like, hey, stop.
There's probably like 35 people.
35 against 1.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Pretty metal.
Go watch it. We'll put it on the YouTube, right?
Yeah, we'll put this on YouTube.
Wow, is he okay?
I don't know.
No, they all got head injuries and lead poisoning.
Yeah, they've all been hit a bunch of times.
Yeah, that's why we have the presidential election we have right now. Yay.
Yeah. So people are punching and kicking, and it looks like a hockey game. Eventually, they break it up, and the Rangers would go on to win the game.
Okay.
And after that game, Texas manager Billy Martin was asked by a reporter, because, they always do the post-game analysis immediately after the game is over, which I always think is stupid.
Very, because everyone's like high off of whatever.
Yeah, they're just like, I'm going to ask you, like, what was your strategy? And you're just like, I don't know. I tried to not die.
Baseball.
Give him 110%. Do you remember that movie? The Brendan Fraser movie?
I don't.
That's true. You don't know it. Anyway, you don't know anything. So...
I know some things.
Sometimes. Texas manager Billy Martin was asked by a reporter if he was worried about retaliation from fans when they would square off again in Cleveland for the next game. His response, quote, very simply, they don't have enough fans there to worry about.
Bad idea to say that.
Yeah.
Careful.
To be fair, it wasn't that untrue. On average, the Indians were only selling about 14,000 seats that season, which was not great.
Oh.
But with that tiny jab, he would set off a chain reaction.
Okay.
The entire week leading up to the game, legendary radio host Pete Franklin, a.k.a. The King, a.k.a. Sweet Pete, a.k.a. Pigskin Pete, who was already known for being outspoken.
That's what I'm going to call him.
Sweet Skin?
Sweet Skin Pete. Sweet
Foreskin Pete.
So Foreskin Pete.
Foreskin Pete, who was already known for being outspoken, went totally overboard.
Oh, Pete.
He goes on and on and on to the listeners about how they couldn't let this offense go and that revenge was necessary and just generally adding as much fuel to the fire as possible.
Oh my goodness.
He riled everybody up. Suddenly, this game became personal.
Did he know what he was doing, or was he just caught up in the moment?
I think he just caught up in the moment. I don't think he realized that what was going to happen was going to happen. I don't think anybody in those kinds of positions have any idea that they have the kind of power that they do sometimes.
No, yeah.
Basically, it's personal to him. It's personal to everybody in the city. The game's personal. It's a big deal. And on top of all that, for this game, all beers were going to be 10 cents.
It's like being like,
So, the bunt brawl, Sweet Pete's rallying, plus cheap beer resulted in a big boost of attendance.
Yeah.
So,
amazing.
On June 4th, 1974.
Hey, that's like next to your birthday.
It's 9 years and 1 day before I was born.
Okay.
On that date, 25,000 people showed up to Cleveland Stadium, which was more than double the average of tickets sold.
Oh, yeah. Nice.
And of course, if you're young and you know that you're going to be going out to drink, what do you usually do beforehand?
Pre-game.
You drink.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they call it pre-gaming.
You pre-game before the game.
Yeah.
So the lore goes that most people who showed up were already shit-faced on wild turkey.
This is like a recipe for
absolute disaster.
Death.
Yeah.
I don't remember. Wow.
Crazy.
Amazing.
And the lore begins that they get shit-faced and they all start filing in and they start buying beers.
Can you imagine the energy?
Oh my God.
Think of like someone taking tickets or whatever, the absolute energy in that area. I'd be like, I think I'm going to die tonight.
Yes. But no, you kind of hope you want to die tonight in battle.
Like, is something insane going to happen?
Because it's personal.
Like, are we going to...
They're just like, bitch,
going to be bloodshed?
You're not going to do that to our team.
Exactly.
Literally.
Yeah, I could just like feel like the electric like mania.
Remember, and then there's whatever, like the politicians are lying, like Nixon's literally about to resign, Vietnam, like all this, like the chaos is chaos. The river's on fire.
That's right.
It literally feels like the afterlife or
I
something.
draw this.
Yeah.
It's like walking into the stadium drunk.
It
The
smells
river behind
awful.
you is on fire. There's trash literally everywhere. Nixon's on TV being like, I like pandas or whatever he says. What did he like? What did he say? I'm not a crook.
Yeah, I am not a crook.
There you go. I was just actually baiting
That
you.
river is on fire. Drink 10-cent beers tonight at the Cleveland Stadium.
Get
like drunk, take revenge. The silent majority.
Get drunk, take revenge is
take
what you
revenge.
said?
Yeah, for your team. Okay, anyway, so everyone's coming in. They're already shit-faced. They're buying more beers. And for some reason that nobody can explain, the stadium implements an arbitrary limit of 6 beers at a time that you can purchase.
That's still a lot of beers.
Yeah. By the way, this is not 6 for the entire evening. That means that when you go to the bartender, you can purchase 6 beers. They're like, you can't carry 7 or 8. You can only carry 6 beers at a time.
But you can come back and get more?
Yes.
Oh, no. Okay. All right. Different time.
And I believe, from what I could tell, it was Stroh's beer, fire brewed beer, which is a Detroit brew.
Okay.
Which, according to one source I could find, is only about 3.2%, which, if you're a beer drinker, is not that high.
I was going to say, back then, they were less potent.
They were less.
In general. Like,
yeah. I mean, the whole IPA bullshit, like, trend of
yeah.
everything being like 11%, like hazy and just like getting you
Yeah.
trashed. That was not a thing back then. But anyway, I think they thought for some reason maybe that they're like, it's kind of like a low, this is like your safeguard because the percentage of the beer isn't that high. If they're only getting 6 beers at 3.2%, like they're doing the math, it's
Probably
less than
doing
drinking
it
6
wrong.
Budweisers. So it doesn't matter if everyone's shit-faced beforehand on Wild
Doesn't matter
Turkey.
if you're allowed to get 12 or more.
Yeah.
You go back and get 6
Eventually
more
you'll
every
get
time.
drunk.
Eventually it will work. And they're all 10 cents. This is insane.
Yeah. And furthermore, adjusted for inflation, 10 cents at that time is like roughly 60 cents now. So
60-cent beer night now.
So literally, so like basically the only way to look at this is that the stadium is like, oh, hey there, here, have 6 beers for free every time your drunk ass comes up to the table. Like 60 cents is like you shit 60 cents.
You find it under the couch.
Yeah.
Wow.
So the game starts and it's fine, whatever. It's like baseball, pitching, bats, catching, whatever.
I love the baseball.
Baseball,
part.
blah, 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 blah. All that stuff's
Everyone's
happening.
Eating fries. That's what my
First
favorite
inning
is.
goes off without a pitch. No, it does have pitches.
That was a good one.
And not halfway through the second inning, the mischief begins.
Oh.
First up, a random woman came onto the field and flashed her tits to the entire stadium, and everyone cheered in approval.
Of course they did. You have a stadium, 25,000 drunk people in a stadium?
Yep.
Yeah. Wow.
She's just like, woo!
Of course.
The Girls Gone Wild, like, what is it?
Girl
The
one.
beads from Mardi Gras style. Just everyone. Which I thought, I was like, oh man, the worst. It's majority men, obviously, like at a game like this. And you're like, the worst thing you want to do is just give them a bunch of drunk boners.
Yes, that's
They're
the
already
problem.
angry. Yeah. And I'm like, that's riling them up in the wrong
sorry,
direction.
But like my alarm bells went off. I'm like, I would never show a bunch of men that I even have a body.
Yeah.
Let alone drunk men.
Yes.
If there's that,
who are already angry and tribal and wanting to fight someone.
Victim shame, because I don't think. But I was like, I would be like, no.
Oh yeah, no. I'm not blaming this woman. I just mean that like when you look at it, you're just like, oh, this is already going to be. This is immediately going to be a disaster.
Okay, so she flashes the audience, everybody.
Flashes everybody. Everyone cheers. They're all very excited. They try to take her off, and as she's leaving, I guess she tries to like make out with the umpire, Nestor Chilak, who politely refuses her advances.
What a night for her.
Yeah.
What a day.
25,000 dudes, drunk boners, hollering and hooting.
So scary.
So then it starts to escalate. The chaos and the screaming, and then there's fights, and it starts to build up. Next up, we go to the Streakers.
Okay.
In the 5th inning, a loving father and son duo took the stage and ran ass naked across the field.
All the drunk boners went
away.
Well,
first, I mean, so not all of them, right?
Not all of them.
Percentage-wise of 25,000, you got to have a certain percentage of them that would love to see dudes' butts. God bless them. So first,
God bless him.
What's that?
God bless him.
God bless him.
The wood chipper just got louder.
The wood chipper just got louder.
So our guest today is actually a very special wood chipper wants to talk about his open tab.
You guys, ladies and gentlemen, there's a wood chipper that decided to...
A second wood chipper.
A second wood chipper has hit the... has hit the podcast tower. I don't know.
Hit the podcast.
Anyway, so this is going to be a little bit abrupt because of the way that the edit goes. But and we're just going to pick this back up.
It's a behind-the-scenes fun thing.
It's a thing.
Yep. So last we heard, the father-son naked team were running.
The father-son naked team, they go and they ran ass naked across the field. So first, they mooned the players from second base.
Okay.
Gave them a little private show.
Okay.
Then from there...
They had a plan.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
They're like, there's an act 1, an act 2, and an act 3 with this. So act 1 was running onto the field naked. Act 2 was mooning the players. Act 3 is they raced through the outfield and jumped the center field fence and on to freedom.
Wow.
They were never caught.
They were never caught?
I like to think that they are still running bare-ass naked to this day, like a father and son Forrest Gump.
I'm going to just tell my kids when they're still running. They're still running to this day. And sometimes when the sun goes down just right, you can see them on the horizon.
See them on the horizon. And also, I'm like, I wish my dad would streak through a baseball game with me.
I never want my dad to do that with me.
Listen, I think...
Different.
I think it would be a good bonding experience.
I think so too.
Oh, look at that. It just turned down as soon as we started recording.
Wow.
Great. So that works out perfectly.
Sometimes things go right.
Listen, as soon as I wished that my father and I would run naked through a baseball game, that's when the wood chipper does. I think the universe is trying to tell me something. I think
that wood chipper is your father.
I'm listening, universe. I'm being receptive.
I'm loving the energy you're bringing to this episode. It is fun and absurd. And you gotta just lean into it.
Anyway,
wood chipper.
Wood chipper. My dad, unfortunately, doesn't want to streak naked. At least, maybe I'm gonna. I've actually never asked him to do it. Should I call my dad?
Please don't call your dad. Your dad's the wood chipper. I told you in this analogy, that's your dad.
Yeah, he's gonna start back up if I call him and make more noise. But all my dad wants to do is learn about science. Whatever. Anyway, it's sad. My life is a tragedy. Anyway, so if the lady boobies weren't enough, apparently the naked dudes really got people going insane.
Of course.
Next thing you know, bottles and rocks and all this kind of shit that was commonplace at the time were being thrown, which is fine. But when fans started to throw firecrackers and cherry bombs into the Ranger bullpen, Coach Martin called his pitchers into the dugout for their own safety.
Wow.
Shit was getting real.
They were like explosives were happening.
Straight up getting attacked.
What is this? The 4th
what is this,
of July?
1970 Cleveland?
I was going to say 4th of July now in the neighborhood I grew up in.
Oh, yeah, right.
Constant.
Shit's getting real, and eventually everything finally comes to a head during the 9th inning.
Okay, that's the last inning, right?
It depends.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. So in this case, the 9th inning, the game was now tied 5-5, which is legitimately awesome.
Yeah.
There's all this shit happening. People are throwing firecrackers. 5-5 tie game, bottom beginning of the 9th. But no one gives a shit because everyone's too drunk and too rowdy. They're not even paying attention to the game. They don't even give a shit that it's happening. They've seen tits and multi-generational balls and gotten this close to like blowing up the rival team's pitchers. Would you be paying attention to some like dude with a bat hitting a ball? You'd be like, this is the greatest night of my life. I feel alive.
I want to watch a naked man launch a rocket at somebody.
Exactly.
That's what I want. Just
like chaos.
Yeah.
So 19-year-old Terry Yurkich certainly could not contain himself anymore.
Oh.
Terry ran onto the field and yanked the cap off of Jeff Burrows, who is Texas's star right fielder. I don't know why he did this, but he just ran on and was like,
there's no reason.
Got your hat. Takes his hat.
Being a nuisance, like a little brother. That's
he's
like
19 years old.
I know he's got little brother energy.
I literally can't imagine any scenario in which I would give myself permission, even when I was drunk, to run onto the field and grab like a player's hat.
No, that's like a weird, different era. Yeah. Different emotional state.
Yeah.
Too,
that's a different. Yeah.
That boy didn't have anywhere to let out any of his feelings or anger. So he just was like, well,
that's permission that was given to him by himself. That was weird. Anyways, Burrows got pissed.
Yeah.
And he starts to chase him. And he eventually, allegedly, so he kicks Terry in the thigh and in the process eats shit and just falls over.
It would piss me off.
Yeah. He's just like, you stole my hat and then you made me fall and trip while I was trying to kick you, idiot.
We live in a society that is one 10-cent beer night away from complete collapse.
Yep. Basically, all the fans are like, what's going on? So then they just start piling on and jumping onto the field. And there's chaos. And no one knows what's happening, least of all, second baseman Billy Martin. So Billy is watching from the dugout. Let's call him Billy Bob Martin, just for the sake of this.
He's immortal.
Yeah. Billy Bob Martin.
Billy Bob Martin.
Billy's watching from the dugout, and he couldn't quite make out what was happening. All he saw was some punk kid go after his teammate, and his teammate falling over, and then a bunch of other kids start surrounding him. And being hyped up from the tits and the streaking and the beer and the firecrackers being thrown at him and beer bottles, his fight instinct kicks in. So Martin grabs a bat.
No. Okay.
And in this Braveheart moment, he screams to his teammates, "Let's go get him, boys!"
What? He literally rallied the troops.
Rallies everybody that's in the troops, and he leads a charge onto the field. And his teammates all grab their own bats. And they basically just start running after them and start beating the shit out of people with bats.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't realize that it was the team doing this too.
Yeah, no. So it's the Rangers that do this first, by the way. This is critical.
Okay.
So they're swinging bats at fans. They're punching. They're kicking. People are going crazy. And in a somewhat admirable twist, the Indians, they see what's happening from the dugout, and then they panic. They're like, oh shit, we can't let our guests, the Rangers, get the shit beat out of them by our fans. We're still the hosts here. That would be impolite. So they all go and grab their bats.
So it's like baseball players versus children.
Basically, that's what it was.
Let's get them.
So they grab their bats and they go in to defend their team that they're playing against.
There's some weird loyalties happening.
I don't understand.
It's like that's what happens in your brain.
Yeah.
You're like, which group do I affiliate myself with? Do I go with first?
I guess
baseball,
it's like they're fellow professionals, right?
Exactly. Well, do they choose that over their hometown?
Their hometown, yeah. They're just like we're hosts, like I don't know. You're right though. It's such a weird.
The tribalism that happens in our brain, is fascinating.
Just in a
like,
second.
Which side do you pick when you have to?
Yep.
Like I guess you turn against 19-year-old, like
19-year-olds, who are just kicking and punching away. And so seriously, like in an instant, Cleveland Stadium just turns into this like Looney Tunes dirt cloud. Remember, like just been like
legs and arms,
and it's just getting bigger and bigger, and you're just hearing noise and sound effects, and it's just like absorbing anything that comes into its path. At one point, this is my favorite, Cleveland pitcher Tom Hilgendorf got hit in the head with a steel chair.
What? They bought like a wrestling match?
Yeah, I don't know where it came from.
Who cares?
Hit in the head with a steel chair. All the while, allegedly, Cleveland Indians organist Art Brose is playing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game" on the organ.
This is America, dude. This is America. This is the land of the free.
This is like any day in like a soccer match, like in England or something.
Oh yeah, I saw soccer hooligans will literally murder each other.
100%. So the music's playing, all them fighting. So umpire Chilek, the one that the flashing lady tried to kiss, he said, quote, "I figured as long as they're not shooting or anything like that, we'll get it done." Being like, we'll work through it.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, I felt some pressure behind the left heel of my shoe. I turned around, looked down, and there was a hunting knife sticking in the ground right behind my shoe.
Oh, they were throwing knives.
So he basically narrowly missed getting stabbed. That's when I said, game, set, match, we're out of here.
Yeah. Nice. Yeah, that's a good
choice. Yeah. The steel chair wasn't enough, but the knife is when he was like,
if I'm seeing a knife almost hit me, I'm like, I'm bailing.
Go ahead and call
I'm
that.
bailing. We're insane.
So with that, Chilek ended the game.
Yeah.
And declared a forfeit against Cleveland.
Oh, no.
Meaning a 9-0 win for Texas.
9-0? Oh, because they forfeit. Oh.
Yep. Art Brose later wrote a letter to the Plain Dealer, which is the newspaper, blaming the Rangers. He said, quote, "The game should have been forfeited to the Cleveland Indians because of the Texas team taking the law into their own hands. Right. They promoted the riot," which was true.
So Texan.
But it didn't matter. The damage was done. And shockingly, Cleveland had another beer night the following July 18th, but with more security.
Okay.
And it went off without a hitch.
That is. Did anyone get like seriously injured?
I think there was a bunch of like a few hospitalizations or anything, but like no one got killed.
They could have.
They could easily could have. Yeah.
That could have turned real deadly.
Yeah, absolutely it could have. But as far as the lore of the night is concerned, it's just a bunch of craziness and punching and fighting and some people getting hospitalized, but I don't think there was any deaths.
How did they get all those drunk people out of the stadium after an unfair forfeit?
I have no idea.
That's insane.
Yeah. I have no clue how you even deal with that.
Whoa.
Right? Whack attack.
That was a whack attack.
Anyway, that's the story of 10 Cent Beer Night. Pretty wacky.
That was amazing.
Yeah.
I felt like I was there. I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
Like and it was one of those stories where I was like, what would I have done?
I ran away immediately. No, that's not true.
I think I would have ran away, but
watched.
that's the thing. I don't know if I would have ran away. It's one of those moments where it's like, who am I?
No, you know what? You and I were in New York a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, we were.
And we were sitting outside at a bar, and of course there was a fight.
We witnessed the dumbest fight.
They're always the dumbest fight.
I know.
They're always the dumbest.
Myself on the side of the guy who punched the first guy.
Right.
Anyway, I had my loyalties were weird.
Who in a twist of fate, not twist of fate, in an ironic twist of fate, weirdly came over and apologized to us afterwards, which I was weirdly proud of him.
I'm glad you were like, thanks, man.
Yeah. Because he was just like, I'm sorry, I just saw red.
People
and he was like, I lost control and I don't know. And I'm so sorry that I disrupted your guys' evening. And I was like, good for you. I was like, it's growth.
Yeah. That right there is emotional maturity.
Yeah. And I'm like, that's okay. Listen, it's not okay to fight, but sometimes you fly off the handle.
Yeah.
It's the repairing of the relationship that matters.
That's what they always say. If you yell at your kid, as long as you apologize.
Yeah. It was a weird 2024 moment where I saw, a bar fight, but then I saw somebody apologize to the bystanders for disrupting their evening. Yeah. And I was like, therapy is working out for some people.
It really is.
Yeah.
Whatever they're doing, whatever the internet has done and with like mental health, conversations, it's working.
But anyway, the point is, the reason I brought that up was because, of course, it's like not great.
I got calm.
But you just immediately, you're like, I have to watch this to the end.
It calmed me down.
It's a primal thing. Yeah. You can't avoid it.
No, I know. It's like a car accident. I'm like, I don't know what I'm going to see, but I'm going to look at it.
And this isn't good, but it's more exciting almost to see it like having happened organically than it is to be like, oh, I'm going to go watch like a UFC fight.
It's different because you're in it.
Right. But it's not, it's like an emotional thing that's happening. It's not like, they're not professional.
No.
Right. It sounds like we're advocating for people to get into bar fights and to sit and
we're talking about it as storytellers.
Right. You're just sort of like, what? There's all these questions that happen.
It's like, what's the background to this?
Yeah. Those guys were apparently friends is what he was screaming about.
My friend. I'm like, what did he do?
He lost his jacket. He was very upset about.
In the street. We found it. He found his jacket. And then new people were added in. It was nuts, you guys. It was I'll never forget that.
Yeah. So I would sit here and just be like, I would run away as fast as possible. And I'm like, I would absolutely try and go find a corner that I could just observe the entire thing because I'm an idiot.
Oh, same.
Yeah.
I told you that there was a shooting in my neighborhood and I was like, I'm going outside.
You did tell me this.
And then until I was outside, I was like, I shouldn't be out here.
Yeah, it's just
what
immediate
is wrong
curiosity.
With me?
It's just the curiosity takes over, and you're like, Who
shot who? The guy was okay. No one died.
Yeah, idiots. But I feel like that's what I'm saying. We're both idiots. So I think if I had been there, I would have just been like, I have to watch this. Also, just to be like,
get a knife in my neck.
I was there for when this happened.
Yeah, the story later.
Don't listen to us or do what we do.
This
I'm
is not
being
a good
honest
idea
about what it was that we would have done.
Do not do anything we do. Okay. Don't start a podcast.
Don't start a podcast next to a wood chipper.
Oh, it's back.
It's back. It's made another. I stopped talking about wanting to run naked with my dad.
I think the wood chipper makes a good point, and that is that. I think we should listen when it says.
It's true. The universe is telling us something, which is to
destroy wood.
Shipped away. Yeah.
Oh yeah. This wood chipper's off camera has taught us some things today.
You know what's going to be funny is that if Alyssa's able to just EQ the entire thing out and it's not even going to be there, and then it sounds like we're insane people, and then Alyssa's going to have to go back and post and add a wood chipping noise throughout the entire thing. So that's how we're destroying
consistent. The tabs today.
That is how film works. Oh yeah, you're right. We have to wood chip them.
Wood chip them.
Yes. Love it.
Woo, woo. See, everything works out.
Worked out. What have you got for us, Hannah?
So I didn't know that there could be a more perfect tab for me. I feel like someone is secretly like manipulating my life, and this is a simulation.
Is this Nico from Riverside sending you the correct tab that you would want to read?
No, this is Josie. Josie, my Josie, who you may know from the episode where the Josies were on. The Josie who talked about squid. She sent me this several months ago, and I've just been staring at it, and I was like, "The time's not right. The time's not right," because I've been so busy, and we've been all, there's been guest episodes and stuff.
Yeah.
As everyone knows, I lived in Wales at some point, studied in Wales.
Do you speak Welsh?
I actually do speak Welsh.
Do you know Welsh stuff?
I do.
Have you ever heard of Welsh mythology?
I've heard of Welsh mythology. Yeah.
Listen, you didn't even know what corpse candle was until I
didn't know what kind of corpse was, and I'm sorry.
Yeah, I know everything about Walish.
Well, I need a minute.
Just throw me in the wood chipper is what I kept saying in the little break. That's going to be my new phrase. Yours is throw me in the bog. Mine is just put me in the wood chipper.
Well, speaking of bogs, this is about bogs.
All right.
This tab was sent to me by Josie, like I said. And as many people know, I speak Welsh, or I did. I don't really do it very much anymore. And I have studied in Wales. It's been a long time. I didn't write this very well.
That's a surprise. But
oh, as you probably know from listening, if you have been listening, I talk about wanting to be thrown in a bog a lot. It used to be like, I think I used to say, put me in the ground. That was my
before the show.
Mm-hmm. No, the beginning of the show.
At the beginning of the show, yeah.
And we got in trouble on TikTok for me saying I wanted to die.
Because we started with digging, and then eventually the bog came up. So it's been a gradual process.
So
we've been building on it.
One of the phrases is "throw me in the bog."
Throw you in the bog, yeah.
Well, there's this also another third aspect to this. Okay, so what do you get when you cross Wales, bogs, and Comic-Con?
And Comic-Con? Is it like a Comic-Con that's in Wales?
No, it's bog snorkeling in costume.
Oh, wait, what?
So we're going to talk about bog snorkeling today.
Okay.
And it is...
Does that mean you're jumping into the bog to snorkel?
Yes. Whoa! Wearing a costume.
In a costume?
In a costume. This all sounds insane, but I'm going to tell you all about it, okay?
Okay.
So there's a village in Wales called Llanwrtyd. Is it Llanwrtyd?
Llanwrtyd?
Llanwrtyd.
Llanwrtyd?
Llanwrtyd.
Wrtyd.
Sure, Llanwrtyd. You never have to say it.
I know. I need to get it. I need to be like, I need to not pronounce your name correctly. How do you actually say it? Is that Kave? I'm going to say it right. It's Kave. Llan.
You're insane. Okay, this town is called
You're just realizing this?
And it's located in Powys in mid Wales, right? And the area is gorgeous, and it's always been known for like outdoorsy stuff, like biking and crap. And And just like turns out I can't follow a script.
Okay.
I'm trying, but
why did you write a script?
Because I was trying something new.
Oh, I see. We're trying all kinds of new things today.
Really not. I was like, what is it called? You write a script. I'm like, I'm gonna try. Can't do it. I look at it and I feel insane. So let me
just bullet point.
Let me
Listen, just throw that script into the wood chipper
with you. Take it with you.
I'm already in there. I'll take it. I'll be like, yay.
Okay, so the idea of a bog snorkeling competition was first thought up, understandably and not surprisingly, in a pub in 1974.
A bunch of people
drinking, thinking there's a big bog next to our village. We could probably, do you think we swim in there?
Snorkel in it.
Let's snorkel in it. And the pub is named Neuadd Arms. And they also, weirdly enough, later on, on a dare, started a competition where you raced horses. But no, human versus horse.
Like you ran
against a horse.
Okay.
And so this village has the bog. No, horses win a lot. This village has the bog competition and a horse race, but not the good kind. Like you have to beat a horse.
This sounds like somewhere you'd want to live.
I know.
Yeah.
I know.
You would totally run against. Do you think you'd win against a horse?
Absolutely not.
I don't know if I would.
Okay, so the idea came in 1974, right? But the first championship didn't happen until the 80s because they had to kind of like figure out how to do it.
They had to formalize it. They had to apply for the paperwork. They had to make sure that they were like they couldn't just be a DBA. They need to be a corporation.
The paperwork thing is funny because because it was a protected wildlife area.
Yeah, I imagine. It's
okay. It's, and if you're like me, you want to know what a bog is, right? You ever thought about it? Because I finally started wondering, like, what is a bog?
This whole time you've been wanting to be buried in a bog, you don't even know what it is?
I thought I knew. I do know.
Yeah.
One question a lot of people have is what the difference between a bog, a swamp, a fen, a marsh.
I don't even know what a fen is.
And well, you're about to find out. You're going to be about to find out.
All right.
And wetlands.
I'm so about to find out right now.
You don't even know how about to find out you're going to be. Well, first off, all of these things are wetlands, okay?
Okay.
So jot that down.
But first of all, through the power of Christ, everything's a wetland. Let's jot that down.
But the differences come down to things like plant life. Plant life.
Are they capris? Are they bell bottoms? Are they skinny jeans? What kind of pants are we talking? What's that?
What are they called? The ones that you walk around in
high waters?
High waters.
It's capris, same thing basically. I guess high waters are technically slightly. Yeah.
Hate capris.
Wow. as I sit here with my pants folded up to be in a capri style. Thanks a lot.
And I hate you.
I know I hate myself. Pants? I don't know. I didn't have a good joke. Continue.
So these are all wetlands, right? And it all depends on plant life, soil composition, and water source and flow. So when you're walking on a bog,
yes,
it feels like a waterbed.
Okay.
So you're kind of like...
And it's grassy, or no, it's like not grassy.
Peat.
It's peat. Peat. All I know about peat is like whiskey when it's peaty.
Oh, interesting.
Is it like moss?
It's moss, yeah.
Okay.
So peat is made of moss and like vegetation that it's kind of gotten compacted into these little like...
It's like a chia plant, basically.
It's kind of, but like way stinkier and way bigger.
Great. Love the smell.
Turns out bogs reek. I didn't know that.
Well, there's a lot of like flesh and stuff that's decomposing in it, right? There
is a lot of things. And nothing, they don't decompose. Like things will decompose on the surface, and then some of these plants...
absorbed into it?
Yeah. And the acidity keeps it like... That's why you get these bog bodies that look pristine.
Oh, I see. That's right, because it preserves it.
So you can, and these peat farmers are always like digging out peat because peat makes great fuel.
Pete?
A person named Pete.
Peter, as I was going to say.
Burning a man named Pete.
Pete Rose comes out. He's all, hey, I'm a famous baseball player and I'm here to help you make what? Fires?
Fires.
Yeah.
To roast your food or whatever.
Great.
Here's the thing about bogs though. The peat will support you, but if you step wrong, you're gone.
Pete's mad at you.
Which is what if Pete moves, you're going to fall straight into his bog. All right? So my beloved bogs also can kill you, which now I know what I want to do. I really throw me in the bog, I will die.
But you want to be thrown into the bog to, you know what? I'm not even going to follow this line of questioning because we're going to get banned from like YouTube and TikTok for this.
You're right. You know what? When I'm dead, throw me in the bog.
Throw you in the bog.
So
afterwards, quickly afterwards, so that you're preserved.
Yeah. When the peat is condensed over time, it prevents the decay. So that's what happens. Why you find these crazy things in bogs. So a fen, not that it matters, is kind of like a bog, but it's like on a sloped or flat land, and the water is coming from the ground. Whereas a bog, the water is supplied from rainfall.
Okay.
So
these are very high rainfall areas. Okay.
And the bog kind of puffs up a little bit, so it's a little bit taller than the land. Yeah, just like
its chest out.
It's putting its chest out. Yeah. It's flashing the
Pete.
crowd.
Don't mess with me.
Pete.
Pete.
In the house? No, yeah. Then Pete. Yeah, he's like, oh, I'm bigger than you. And it kind of like fills with rainwater. And then a fen is just like fed from underground. And then a swamp has trees.
Oh, that's the only difference.
That's, and the acidity is different. And it's kind of more like you can like take a boat in a swamp, like Louisiana.
Yeah.
You can get on a boat and there's trees.
You can't get on a boat in
Not in a bog or a fen because it's...
No boat bog.
No bogging boats. No boating in the bog.
Wade Boggs.
That's
another baseball.
Baseball, dude.
Bog reference.
Can we just give up and only talk about baseball?
Yeah.
Baseball.
Baseball.
A swamp has trees, and a marsh is a swamp without trees and more grass.
Okay.
So
important distinctions.
Sure. That's my tab, folks. No. The very first bog competition was held in 1989. Some sources say 1985, but I don't really know. I couldn't find it up. So this little Welsh village, everyone from the village would come and do it. So it was like small. And as it grew, people from England and Ireland started coming because they were like, dope, this is insane. I want to swim in a bog.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
How deep do they get? Do you know?
So I'm about to explain.
Okay, sorry, go ahead.
So here's how it starts. So you have to, the thing is that you can't like swim through a bog on its own because it has like patches of peat and you can't. Yeah. So they dig out a trench to make it pretty much like this. Like, here, I'm going to send you a photo. I don't have to send you a photo. I can just show it to you.
Just turn around and show it to the screen.
Oh. So if you can see,
yes,
he's swimming.
Okay, it's like a little moat.
It's like a little moat, like a little trench and a trough, and they let the water fill in.
Okay.
And then there's like, it's 120 meters total.
Okay.
Yards, not meters.
Listen, this is America. What does that mean?
Yards, I don't.
Yards about 3 feet, I think.
Good.
It's about 360 feet.
Deep? No, wide.
Okay,
long,
wide.
length.
That's very deep.
All of this, here's the thing. All of this is wrong. So please.
All of this is wrong?
It's like 60 yards each way. 120 yards.
Okay, I see.
So it's like, if you think about a swimming pool, it's similar to that. Like, so you get in and these are the only requirements, all right?
No, I'm just thinking, so they're digging the trench to fill it with bog water.
The bog water just seeps in.
So they're not actually swimming in the bog. They just want to swim in the water that is bog water. Well, technically, right?
Technically, but the bog does not stay where it's supposed to stay. So you're still swimming through like gunk.
Okay.
and grass.
This sounds awful, all of this, but okay.
I would do this.
I would not want to do this.
Really?
This sounds like you're just swimming in like when you go into the drain and like there's all this hair and clumps of shit and it smells bad. And there's all these it's just like, hey, I'm human Drano is what it sounds like.
Well, the human Drano record holder is a man from England. So, so human Drano. Dude, I love that. I want to write a comic book. I'm the human Drano.
I'm the human Drano. You can't stop me. I was bombarded by bog rays when I went into space. I'm not picturing good visibility here either.
Oh, that's exactly right. So here are the requirements, right?
Yeah.
Number 1, you're only required to wear a snorkel and fins. So whatever you put on your body, other than those, is up to you. I know. Look, you're going to get through this. You're going to get through this, okay?
There's decomposing stuff in there, right?
Yes.
And just shit and saline solution from your contact lenses or whatever you said.
No, it's not a dump. It's not the dump. It's like a protected wetland. So no one's like throwing garbage in there. It's like frogs pooping and eggs. I was going to say, it's
frog shit and eggs and I don't want it. I don't want to do this. James Cameron is not doing any deep sea diving in the bog for a reason.
You don't have to do this.
Okay.
I'm giving you.
I thought that's why you brought up the tab.
Surprise! We're getting on an airplane and going to Wales.
Please do not rally our listeners to make us go to
We're going here.
What was the one that exploded underwater? The billionaires that died?
Ocean Gate.
Yeah, Ocean Gate. But we're not going to do Bog Gate. Please don't ask us to do it.
You're not going to do Bog Gate.
That's the only way that you're going to be buried in the bog is through Bog Gate.
Promise anything. So it started.
Podcaster Hannah Hillman
explodes in 3 feet of bog water.
He's only 3 feet in.
The whole country of Wales says, "Why? Who is this?" Now I'm trying to remember what that is in Welsh. Pwy I can't remember. It's okay. So the bog is named Wainrhydd, and it just means bog crossing. Bog
crossing. I love that game. I played it so much during the pandemic.
I always fell into the bog.
That's just Nixon doing it under the bog.
Is he like the canoe? What's the guy?
Tom Nook.
Is Nixon the Tom Nook of the bog?
Of the bog, he
Next
is.
Next time on 500 Open Tabs, we'll
Welcome
discuss.
to the bog. If you go 3 feet under, your head will explode.
Oh, well.
This is documents
off the rails, and I'm going to accept it. I'm accepting this. So,
Watergate, it could be Bog Gate. All kinds of the Bog Gate is going to be the hotel where they store all the papers.
It's the bog.
Business papers, yeah.
They're preserved there.
The business papers are.
Yeah, it's acid.
From Bog Gate.
Bog Gate. Anyway, for a long time, the people in Llanwrtyd were the ones that did this. And then everyone started coming. Australians started coming, and they were like, oh.
Everyone had to get in on it.
And then it started being televised.
Okay.
And then it started being like followed by sports people.
Oh, it's like ESPN and stuff.
Yeah, it's sort of. It's more like a joke. And now everyone's like, we should get this in the Olympics. And the Olympics are like, no.
No.
Why would... What? We're going to make a bog? It's just swimming.
Are they're diving? What are they doing?
No.
It's like they're racing from one side to the other?
They're not racing. They're trying to beat each other's times. So there's only 2 troughs, right? One of the troughs
Speaking of trough, now all I can think of is going to a baseball game and just pissing in the giant trough, which is horrific, by the way, if you've not seen one.
I've had to clean one.
You've had to clean the trough, yeah. And I'm just picturing a trough of piss and bog water and people swimming into it and being let's get this into the Olympics.
It's like, listen, we're not doing this because, it's gross. So also I watched a bunch of videos and they were like, one person was like, what's it like to drink bog water? And he's like, just don't drink it.
Disgusting.
But apparently you can fall to if you accidentally have bog water in your mouth, everyone just gives up. They're like, I'm not doing this anymore. It's so gross. So I didn't know bogs were so gross. So I'm glad I'm going to be dead when I'm in one. So I was saying the rules, right?
Yes.
So the rules are you must wear snorkels, mask, and flippers. Everything else is up to you. A lot of people choose to wear wetsuits because they take it pretty seriously.
Yeah, I would want to wear a wetsuit. I would not want a single inch of my body exposed. I'm going to wear the wetsuit over my mouth.
I love this reaction I'm getting.
It's so gross.
Because when I read this, I was like, I got this bucket list.
Bucket list to you to go into the bog water?
Yeah, I'm going to go swim in the bog.
Oh.
Wow.
In the words of you.
I got to get back to my roots, which is just swimming in a bog.
That's not roots. That's just water. Yeah, that's just bog water.
Yeah, I'm staying calm.
You're trying to provoke me into not swimming in bog water.
I will not let you provoke me.
I will not.
This
Nevertheless, she
episode
bog-sisted.
is a disaster. Wait, nevertheless, she bog-sisted?
Bog-sisted.
I have to go to the airport soon, so I'm going to go through this. So
you get some time.
Your face must be in the water. That's the other thing.
Great.
You have to you have to swim.
Okay.
Have to swim blindly. Every once in a while, you're allowed to look up and make sure you're not going into the side of the bog.
Okay.
Look,
what is this competition?
It is honestly mostly a dare. It got out of hand. I was stressing about not doing this tab justice, and I'm not. And so I'll do it again someday, like in whenever. But right now, I'm just going to keep talking, okay?
Good. It's great. So far,
you have no
loving
way
all the bog water in my throat right now as I hear about this. Just
open up.
Oh.
Gargling frog eggs. Oh, I'm coming. I don't like eating frogs. I'm coming. I don't like water. All right. So you try not to swallow the water. You swim down and back. And you can wear whatever you want. So
can't look. Right.
You can't see. Your head has to be in the water.
I can wear a 3-piece suit if I want.
You can. And people have. People name a costume. Someone has bog snorkeled in that costume.
Oh, really?
Yes. I haven't even gotten to the costume part, okay?
Interesting.
The most important rule is you cannot use your arms.
Oh, so this is all
it's
leg
just
work?
paddling. That's
okay.
But you can do a doggy paddle sometimes.
What is the reason for that?
You know what? I don't know. I tried to figure it out and I don't know.
Okay.
So if anyone in La Norte is listening,
if we got any bog snorkelers
explain.
Here, yeah, let us know why arms are forbidden.
I think that it's just the rules.
Oh, sure. But
they also are like, there's no rules, but there is rules.
It sounds like there's a lot.
So everyone started wearing costumes at some point. And
to make it harder?
Again?
I mean, the point should be to wear less clothing so you can move faster.
This is all a joke. That's the thing.
Okay.
For the most part, this is a joke. They just want to have this weird, because it's also a very like you British Isles thing where like you're in the pub and you're like, you know what we should do? We should all roll cheese down a hill and chase it.
Oh, I see. Is people all drinking before they do this too?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good.
Oh, smash. Like,
wow. Way to leave out the most important detail that they're all drinking immediately before they do this.
They have drinks on the bog with them. Like they're out there with drinks and hot dogs.
So it's a delightful drunken thing.
Yeah, I should have led with that.
I thought it was like they make it up. They came up with the idea at the pub when they were drinking. I didn't realize that drinking was the part of the actual event as well.
But people did start taking it seriously.
Okay.
And that's when they're like, oh, interesting. People are coming from like Australia to do this.
Yeah.
And this British dude named Neil, didn't write his last name. Oh, Neil
Rudder.
What
a name.
Neil Rudder is pretty serious. I saw a video of him and he's like very like, okay, I'm like Olympic looking, like I'm getting in and I'm going to beat my bog record.
Listen, the important thing is that the chipper is about to start, it sounds like.
Oh, good. He's right.
I was worried that we were going to have clean sound for a minute.
I don't know if you guys can tell, but we're not okay.
Yeah, this might end up being our best episode, I think.
You know what? If it is, I'll be mad. I'll be really upset. I put a lot of work into other episodes, but whatever. Why am I even looking at this? I don't even.
You said the English guy who's really serious comes in.
Yeah, and then
he looks Olympian. He looks like an Olympian.
He looks serious.
He's the Michael Phelps of bog swimming.
So once people started getting serious, they're like, we got to divide this into goofy and silly. Sorry, goofy and serious. So they have two trenches now, one for costumed bog snorkeling and the other one for serious bog snorkeling. And the serious ones, Neil did it in a minute 18 seconds.
Wow.
Which is very fast.
Good for her. Yeah.
Him. Kirsty did it in 1 minute and 22 seconds. So there's a male and a female. Like
this is like, okay. Oh, between the two, I thought you were talking about the serious and the goofy.
No, the goofy, that's what I'll get to.
Yeah.
So the goofy, here comes some photos. There's this guy's dressed up as grapes. Yeah, grapes.
That's not the extent of how much I thought it was going to be.
Here's a lobster. Costume. They're all homemade costumes.
They're not even fast swimmers.
No, that's not the point. They got to get in a dark bog in a lobster suit and try to make it to the other end.
No, I just mean in terms of if I were to wear something stupid for the bog.
Yeah. You could wear it. There's someone I saw someone wear like
I would be like, I'm gonna wear a cheetah outfit or something.
That happens.
Yeah.
People wear like full blown suits with top hats. Yeah. People wear. I saw someone wearing a really crappy looking Spider-Man costume covered in bog gunk.
Disgusting. This is all foul. I hate it.
Oh, look, there's Neil.
Nice.
Yeah. This lady's just dressed as a bee.
Cool. She was from the Blind Melon music video.
Don't know what that means. And then
music videos are songs that
I don't know, man. I don't watch anything with my eyeballs.
Videos. Anyway.
I'm putting that phone down because it's confusing me more. So I saw one of my favorite one was this person that was just wearing he was like a pea in a pod, and his head was one of the peas. And then my other favorite was a hobby horse. Do you know what a hobby horse is? Like
horses that you hobby with?
In America. Yeah.
What is that?
Hobby.
This horse only exists as a hobby, but when I'm not
It's a hobby horse is like, again, a British kind of thing where they like dress up as a horse. Like, like in movies, like comedy movies where one person's the head and the other's
right. Yeah. Like,
so they tried to do that.
That's what a hobby horse is called?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't realize that. Okay.
That's what two people tried to do a bog snorkel in a hobby horse costume.
Who drowned?
Surprisingly, neither.
Weird.
So it didn't work. I don't think they made it.
Yeah, I'm like, what do you just one person's kicking and then the front person can't kick because their legs are in the face
propelled,
of the other person?
And where's their butt? Are they just... So the goofy one has literally no rules. Everyone's just like, do whatever you want. The costumes do weigh you down. So that's the point.
I would assume so.
So yes. One guy was like, I'm not going to do a heavy costume this year. I'm going to do a light costume. But he was wearing like a robot costume. And like people will use like cardboard. They'll make these. It's like Comic-Con. You make a costume and then you. But
it's cosplay, yeah.
It's cosplay, but the difference is that you swim in a stinking, disgusting, dark bog. Anyway, so I'm gonna post a bunch of pictures, but there's some amazing costumes. And then I listened to this interview with this Welsh dude who was just like, "Yeah, this is our thing." And I'm obsessed with this. And this year I'm going to do this. And like now it's like this point of pride where they're like, no, we started the bog snorkeling. Because other cities have been like, we have bogs.
Copiers.
Ireland did it.
Yeah.
And the Welsh are like, excuse me. This is our weird pub idea.
Yeah.
But it kind of got me reading about like all these other things the Brits do. And I'm not saying the Welsh are British. I'm sorry. Don't think that. It's very important. Good. A lot of people in the British Isles are like these insane competitions that they just make up. And it's been so long that people don't know why they roll cheese down hills anymore.
They just do it.
And that's how this is becoming.
Famously, that was the moral of Bridge on the River Kwai, with the Brits being like, I don't know why we keep doing this. And
my grandpa's favorite movie. You mean?
It's a great film. The spoiler alert, I'm ruining the ending.
I didn't even the ending.
That's literally Alec Guinness is like, what have I done?
That is deeply
why
British.
Why do I keep doing this?
Tradition.
Yeah.
Over silly things is the core of Britishness, I think.
Yeah, until you start building a bridge for your
no
enemies.
Reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, incredible film.
Yeah, I gotta watch it.
Amazing movie.
And that was my very sporadic and crazy sounding tab on bog snorkeling.
Listen, I expected your bog snorkeling tab to sound a lot more direct and linear and philosophical and scientific.
Okay, take the last two off. And direct and linear would have been nice.
It's fine.
But I went nuts.
Throw the bog into the wood chipper. That's all I want to do.
I want the bog to be thrown into me. And you know what? You know how I'm going to do that? I'm going to drink that water while I'm swimming as the bog.
I'm excited. Do you have way more costumes that you can show?
Yeah. You want to see?
Yes. Did someone dress up as a wood chipper when they were swimming in the bog?
Sorry, I just registered what you said. This person is a mermaid. A lot of them are just like...
That's fun.
Yeah. Normal. Here's
Normcore.
This guy's wearing a heavy dinosaur costume.
Okay.
And it looks like he is being bogged down.
Bogged. By the weight of the world.
And look, they come out looking like this. This one's just wearing a wetsuit, but they end up getting covered in bog stuff like grasses.
Gnarly. I can see why people would be really into this, though.
Oh, these guys swam as Ken and Barbie in boxes.
Oh my God, in the box?
In the box.
Whoa.
Yeah. And I don't know how they did. I don't think anyone does well.
You know who would love this tab is Sarah. Sarah would think this is amazing.
Really?
Because she loves costumes.
This guy is Superman, and he's just jumping in like Superman
That's awesome.
into the bog. I love this country, dude. I don't know how to describe how...
America?
No, Wales. This is very Welsh in a very weird way I don't know how to describe. Okay. So this person just painted themselves blue.
Okay. A Blue Man Group?
Blue Man Group did,
I think they just blew themselves.
I'm afraid I've just blew myself, Michael. Another person did a Barbie in a box.
Nice.
But yeah, look, this guy just looks happy. He's wearing a birthday hat.
I thought you were going to say birthday suit.
He's naked. It's the guy
streaked from the game and went directly into the bog and swam across it with his son.
Yep. And then here's, people can sit around and watch and drink and eat.
It's fun.
One guy
it seems like a good time.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that.
It's a blast. Everyone loves it.
You go see some fun. It's like a convention.
It's a convention in bog.
Yeah.
And it mixes everything I love.
Conventions, bogs.
Conventions, and bogs.
Smelling terrible, swimming around in filth.
Yeah.
Writing on couches, all kinds of stuff that you love to do.
I love drawing on your couch.
Listen, just so the listeners know, Hannah wrote on my couch.
On
and
accident.
It was a minor...
It's been a 4-day joke now that he's been making.
Yes.
As he tends to do.
It's this very couch right here. As you can see. Anyway, sorry, continue.
Cymru am byth, bog am byth. It's all good, you know?
Bog on byth?
Bogs forever.
Oh, bogs forever. Bog on byth sounds like a cool shirt.
Bog. I gotta figure out what the word for bog is in Welsh.
I definitely think we should do like a bogs forever.
Okay. Hang on, this is really important.
Turn it into something for
bog
maybe a good hat or something.
Welsh.
Let us know in the comments.
I think it's wine.
If you would buy Bog on Byth merch.
Not boy. Hold on, this is important. I'll miss my flight for this. Bog.
Bog. Bogo. I think you should just move on.
Okay. Bogs on Byth.
Okay.
Makes me want to go back, but yeah, thank you.
I love it. Nicely done. We made it through.
Someday we'll go there.
We will go there together. It's going to be excellent. Okay, so that brings us to our period of when we are going to close our tabs.
Yes.
And as we discussed earlier, we are going to have no choice but to put them in the wood chipper.
Yeah. And also, you can sample the wood chipper from outside, or you can just find one that's clear sounding.
It's up to you. You want to go ahead and count us down in Welsh?
Yeah, actually. 3, 2, 1. Go. Close them.
Okay, moving on. Listener emails.
Okay.
I believe I went first.
Yep.
So, email number 1. Hi, Hannah. Newman from India.
Oh.
Say hi to Kava for me. I don't know if you know this person, but they addressed the email specifically to you and said to address me as well. Been listening to 500 Open Tabs since forever. Oh. It's one of the only good ways to pass time or focus on projects for me as a 3D/2D artist.
Oh, cool.
Sorry, I don't have many tabs open as my OCD has made me kill them. So many lost souls, in parentheses, tabs.
Oh, rest in peace.
So here's one of my tabs that has survived. It's about the Great Emu War of Australia of 1932. This was waged due to the increasing population of emus who were destroying crops.
ACAB.
Emus are famously ACAB, who were famously destroying crops. The emus were totally uncontrollable, and this led to them deploying the Royal Military, which then, over a span of 38 days of using them, plus 10,000 plus rounds of ammunition. But the number of emus killed was less than 100, which is not officially confirmed. But I believe the reason behind the number not being recorded is because they were too busy running away. As the Great Emu War was won by none other than the crazy Roadrunner of Australia.
Yeah, I don't doubt that at all.
Also, I believe this because their request from the farmers in the years 1934, 43, and 48, which was turned down by the government to send any military assistance. So basically, it was fine.
The emus won.
Thanks for your time. I hope you like it. They include the link. Thank you for the tab.
Yeah. And I'm really glad the emus won.
Me too.
They're insane. They will kill you.
Will they really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, I didn't know that.
They'll murder you. They can kill a human easy.
They can put you into the bog.
They can put me straight into the bog.
Maybe we dress up as emus next time.
Emus on Byth. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Mine was from Sakari from Finland.
Oh.
And Sakari says, "Hi, Kava and Hannah. I discovered your podcast sometime in early June this year, and I binged all the episodes while working on my bicycle.
Yeah.
I do have a lot of tabs open, but they're usually something like guidebooks and manuals rather than random history lessons. But that doesn't mean I don't look up stupid stuff. Cool. You guys have already proven several times that people of the past weren't that different from us.
Nope.
I was reading through the history of bicycles on Wikipedia and realized that tech bros have existed for ages. Mm-hmm. While the history of bicycles is a rabbit hole in itself, I've gone down that one. You know what? They think they were invented because of a volcanic winter.
What?
Yeah.
That sounds like a tab.
Bicycles were, I'll save that for later.
Okay.
What stood out was the bicycle railroad. During the bicycle craze of the 1890s, a guy named Arthur Hotchkiss designed a monorail for bikes. It was first made as a serious...
monorail for bikes?
For bikes, yeah.
How does that work?
Well, they're about to tell us. It was first made as a serious way for workers to commute between Smithville and Mount Holly, New Jersey in 1892, and it did run for 5 years, but it gradually became a simple amusement until it shut down. The funniest part is it only had one rail, which was used to travel in both directions. Oh, actually, I don't think they explain it. Cool, I should have done my homework. So riders would have to lift their heavy iron bikes off the rail to let the other rider pass them. They did plan for a second track, but for some reason it was built only partially. There were 2 other rails at the same time with the same design built for the amusement in the UK. I've been on one of these.
Really?
I've been on something similar where it's like the ski runs where you can like attach your ski to the little like thing that pulls you up the mountain.
Yeah.
It's like that for bikes for over like long distances.
Okay.
And you can just kind of hop on there and go.
So like our shopping carts going up and down like on the escalator.
The Wikipedia article is really short, but if you want to look deeper into it, and reference links on the Wikipedia have some longer articles and more pictures. And here is a picture of the bicycle railroad. Yeah, you can just sit on it like a...
Whoa, that's weird looking.
Yeah, that really is.
Curious.
Interesting. Cool. Thanks.
Nice. Bicycle, monorail. I just see a Lyle. The
Simpsons.
name's Landley. Lyle Landley.
I was immediately thinking Simpsons.
I've sold bicycle monorails to, what is it?
I don't know.
Something. North Haverbrook. Ogdenville.
Bogdenville.
And North Haverbrook. Bogdenville. I've sold Lyle Landley selling a bicycle monorail to Bogdenville.
I call the big one Bitey.
Perfect.
I call the big one Bitey. Isn't that from that episode?
Yeah, I call the big one Bitey. Oh, we shouldn't have stopped to get the haircut. Anyway, amazing. Thank you.
I'm glad everyone made it through with us, hopefully.
That was quite a journey. If you also have an email that you'd like to submit to us, please send it to 500opentabs@gmail.com. That's 500. Send us a link. Let us know a blurb. What's happening? You're giving up?
I was going to come over there.
Oh.
Keep going. I was going to come over there and say, and so we didn't say bye.
Why don't you tell them?
Oh, you can follow us. Sit back down.
You
made
have
it
to say it into the mic.
I was saying it next to you. Oh my! This is backfired. This whole thing is a disaster.
If they've watched this far. Okay. Yeah. Send us emails. Give us a blurb. Send us the link. Let us know where you're from. Keep it short. Also, we like voice memo submissions.
Yeah, they're fun. And if you want to follow me on us on Instagram, 500 open tabs, and then I'm Hannah Hillen.
You know what? It's not going to show up because she's going to have to cut to a bigger image.
I love that I had made no good decisions. Look.
Look, no, it's okay. Alyssa, you'll just have to cut to the wide shot for this one. Yeah, follow us.
Please don't. If this is your first time watching this, don't. Just give us another chance. All right, give us like 2 more chances. All right, go listen to some other episodes.
I'm at PermaFriends on Instagram. Yeah. Join the Discord.
Yeah.
Subscribe on YouTube.
Patreon.
Follow the sponsor links. Follow the Patreon or support whatever Patreon stuff.
Look, wood
thanks.
chipper.
Hey, Hannah, good job. We made it through. Barely.
We made it through, man.
Thank you for listening. We'll never do another in-person episode ever again.
You think?
No, I don't know. We'll see. We'll have
not
figured
yet,
out the kinks.
Not for a while.
We'll figure out the kinks a little bit more.
Yeah.
But this was impromptu.
Yeah, it was.
Anyway, thank y'all for listening. See ya at the shitting wall.
I was gonna say, see you at the bog.
See ya at the shitting bog.
Keep it Josie.
Keep it Josie.